Morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you for being here. What's it say?
Busy introverting.
Nice. Wait, you don't need that. I need that.
Yeah, that's a U cup, not a me
That
cup.
is a me cup. Why don't I have that cup? Where did you get that cup? I have to have that cup.
From a little coffee shop back south.
Oh, never mind. I'm not going south. So no. Um, this is our first show of 2024. I want to thank everyone for joining. Those who have joined, please do me a favor. This is like my New Year's resolution. Well, I have two. One is adopt every shelter dog, but the other one, which might be more attainable, is like listening to the podcast. I appreciate all of you. I really, really do. Hit the like button for me because my goal this year in the No Particular Order podcast specifically is to have more likes than Jeff Lambert's Armchair Fantasy Show. He doesn't know that. He will now. Hi, Jeff. Um, so hit the like button for me. Thank you for listening. Participate in the chat because this isn't just about what Shannon and I and Kyle when he gets here talk about. It's like you guys too. We want to hear from you, especially like you interesting ones. You guys that aren't so interesting, maybe not, but the ones that are interesting, come on. Yes. And speaking of interesting, Jesse Patterson. Good morning and happy New Year to Jesse Patterson. I love Jesse Patterson. People,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jesse. Good to see you, honey. So Shannon is going to tell us before we start. Shannon went to Tennessee for the New Year. How was that trip,
Yeah.
Shannon?
I apologize for my disheveled appearance, everyone. I haven't shaved in a few days. I got ill back south, and let me tell you, it's been a week. I am in a spot. So if there's some random coughing, I apologize. Some sneezing, hopefully not. But yeah, the South was great. I ate all the food. I immediately got off the plane and went to this place called Gus's Fried Chicken, which is one of my favorite places to eat. I mean, like immediately, like got off the plane, my friend dropped me off at this restaurant, and that's the first thing I did when I got there. And then was there for until Tuesday, so from Thursday to Tuesday. Sunday, the whole reason I was there was for a wedding. I wouldn't have gone back otherwise. And I got like beyond ill and just I was laying in bed all day, just like I'm not making it. There's no way I'm making it out of this bed. And I just really did not think it was going to happen. Um, and I ended up just powering through. I like took some meds and I made it happen.
You went to the wedding?
I went to the wedding.
Did you
but
mask? Did you mask up?
I did. I have a picture of me not masked up though.
Was your mask glitter?
No. I put on sunglasses and that was my entire personality the entire time. My buddy who was in the wedding, he like walked down the aisle and he turns around and he said he's scanning the crowd and he just sees me. I mean, granted, I may be ill, but I have good posture. I'm just sitting there, straight up, sunglasses on, just sitting there dying. And like he said he saw me and he was just immediately almost laughed out loud. And our friends, like as soon as we showed up, like we met some friends and we showed up and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys look so good, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if you could see behind these frames, you would see the embodiment of death. I mean, just
I'm sorry.
nothing. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. I don't get sick often, so when I do, it's like I'm like every other dude. I'm just like, I think I'm dying. Like this is it, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just stay for the ceremony. I'll just go home after the ceremony. And then I was like, okay, I'll just go home after the wedding's over. It's because it started at 8, ended at midnight kind of thing because it was a New Year's wedding. And then next door, there's a music venue. So we went over there. And there's like an 80s cover band and they were incredible. I'm going to say they looked incredible, but they were definitely born years before us and had on wigs. And the lead singer, he had some pipes on him. Like, I mean, he had the mic this far away from his face and he was like still getting it out there. It was nice. Yeah, it was awesome. And his pants were so tight. Can confirm that his member is quite large. And then I was like, okay, I'm going home after this. It's like, it's 1 o'clock, whatever. So then we went to another bar that had a DJ, and then that was my New Year's, and it was pretty great. I was just ill,
Oh,
um,
I'm
but
sorry.
otherwise it was good. Yeah, yeah. How was your New Year's? How was your Christmas?
Um, both
How was
were
the dog's Christmas?
okay.
Did they get anything good?
They always get stuff good. They always get good stuff. The dogs get better stuff than I do, actually. Um, Morning, Cassie. Cassie is my niece who has a YouTube channel that you guys need to turn into because she does really crazy things like cook turkey bacon against regular beef bacon, which I have no interest in because I don't eat bacon, but it was like an interesting little demonstration. Hey, Cass, if you're still there, drop your YouTube channel on us. So Christmas was good, I think. I don't really remember Christmas. Was it on
Cool, great.
Saturday? Was it on Saturday or Sunday? It was on a Sunday, right? It
I
was
think
on
it
a
was
Sunday because
Monday.
there was no. Oh, Christmas Eve? No. Was it a Monday?
We have calendars. Hold on. I'm pretty positive it was Monday.
So all the football games were on Christmas Eve then? And then there was a yeah, that's right, because there was a Monday
Hmm.
Christmas game which was the Denver game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my Christmas was all I asked for. Like I don't really celebrate the holidays, so all I asked for is like
Mhm.
peace and quiet. And yeah, I got that a little bit. Except Missy has decided she turned 1 December 18th, of course, so she's a
Mhm.
year old. She's decided that going to the bathroom outside really isn't her thing. Like it's not. It's not something she really wants to participate in. Like,
Yeah, it's cold.
it's cold. Why go outside? But she likes going outside. Like
Yeah.
we'll go outside and she loves the smells and she loves like the noise and she's so distracted, but um drop the title for your YouTube channel so people can subscribe to your YouTube channel, Cassie. Um they but she'll come in and then go to the bathroom. Like it's like I think she gets so distracted outside that she forgets why we're there.
Yeah.
So I try to go around the block like 3 times so she gets the same smells and it's still she's like maybe tomorrow, maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow I'll go outside,
But today
but today
it's
no.
it's an inside day.
It's an inside day, and the good thing is that the fireworks don't bother either one of them. Like I've never had a dog that the fireworks bother. Like I understand that
Yeah.
people have dogs that they were like they slept through it. They're like and most of the people I know are East Coast people, so my New Year's was like 10 o'clock. Like at 10
Yeah.
o'clock, I can text everyone Happy New Year's because you're in New York or you're in Florida or you're in Pennsylvania, and I'm done. I don't have to stay up for midnight in Mountain Time, and I
Mhm.
don't think I did. So it was pretty good. It was
Nice.
actually, yeah, it was it was quiet. It was peaceful. The best thing is that everyone in this building go home, and so it's just me and the
Oh,
dogs.
nice.
Kyle, why aren't you on the show? Happy New Year, Kyle. Why aren't you on the show?
It's a new year, new Kyle. He's doing it straight from chat.
Okay, Kyle. We were waiting for you, but now we're not. So jump on in, buddy. um, so I want to say the best thing I saw this week because I know that it's probably going to be one of the best things you saw. Oh, Kyle's not feeling good. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Oh no, he's
Oh
dying
no,
too.
you and Shannon don't. You and
Excuse
Shannon
me.
are both kind of ill. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I hope I don't catch it because I really do believe you can catch it over the
I
air.
don't think you can catch it digitally, like over video.
I think you
I'm not.
can. You're not
Yeah, I'm
positive.
not.
There's not absolute proof that you can't. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
you're right. You're right. There is not.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, what you see on the screen right now is Cassie's YouTube page. Go ahead and jump on, subscribe to that too. That would be great. Starting the new year, you have a new YouTube channel to subscribe to. But anyway, best thing I saw, I'm gonna say because I know it might be the best thing you saw, and I want to beat you to it because that's my New Year's resolution is to beat everyone to things that they want. First, Jeff. Now
I
you.
like this. I like
You're
this.
welcome. Jokic. Jokic is all right. I I have to admit, until last year, until they won, and he was like so businesslike about it, I've never been a fan of Jokic. Like I'm like, yeah, he's
Really?
okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Don't judge me, but that shot that he hit against the Warriors, the 3-point shot, and then his the post game interview where the dude was like, "Did you call bank?" He's like, "Friend," and went in. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm insanely good." The vibe he gives off is that I'm insanely good at my job because I'm supposed to be insanely good at my job.
Hmm.
This is what I do, and I'm really good at it. Deal with it. And I love that. I love that there's no fanfare. There's no, extra. It's I'm Jokic. I'm really, really good. It's just what it is. That was like that knocked off my week. I was like, this is the best week ever.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Just because I love watching the Warriors lose. They're being kind of
Even now,
like they're being a little like babyish about it all too, because like Kerr had that thing where he was like pissed at Phoenix because he's like, it sounds like a nightclub in there. They're playing the music too loud, whatever. And then they've been like on this like not great run, and they've just been mediocre. And then he's like having things to say about whatever, all kinds of things. And I'm like, he's very and as Steve Kerr seems like a fine enough dude. However, sometimes he doesn't do the both sidesism thing. Like he like example being like Dylan Brooks or another player will do something he's like unacceptable, breaking the rules of the game. Like you shouldn't do that kind of thing. Draymond Green will punch someone. He's like, didn't see it, no idea, couldn't say. You know. So this little bit of like them, aging and coming back down to earth is like pretty interesting to see how they're handling it. Um, And as far as Jokic goes, I remember, I mean, I'd heard of him and like I'd watched him play a little bit, but I just remember being like a little bothered at first because they were like, this is the best big passing man we've ever seen, whatever. And I'm like, Marc Gasol exists, And I was like a little bothered because like Marc Gasol was like proto Jokic essentially. Um, and then I watched Jokic play and I was like, all right, well, yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah, he's bonkers, and it's like the thing with him is that like there's things that the things that I love about him is one, he makes it look effortless, which is when people
His
are
job.
really great. Yes, when people are really great, they make it look effortless, even though it's like not right.
Right.
And then the other thing is like he this is his job. Like he's kind of I mean, he goes to work. He's like, this is my job. This is what I do
Right.
for work. It's not anything more than that. Like he's like, it's a game that I'm good at, kind of thing. Which I think is like, I love it because like Josh Hart had this quote last year, and someone was asking him about something, and I don't even know if it was a social issue or whatever. But Josh Hart looks at the reporter. He goes, "There are people working 3 jobs a day just so they can get by." He's like, "We're playing basketball and getting paid a lot." He's like, "That's not a real question." Whatever they
You're
say,
right.
he's like, "That's not a
And
real question," whatever.
and
And so like with Jokic, he's like, he's gonna disappear. Like he's gonna win maybe multiple championships. He's going to go down as this amazing top 75, top 50 player, top 25 player, or whatever of all time.
and
And
just poof, gone.
where
Like
he's
the
going to go to Serbia, have a cattle ranch of ponies, and we're never going to see him again. Like,
oh my god, like the quote from Usual Suspects.
yeah,
And he's gone. Yeah.
yeah. And like maybe we'll be able to get him on satellite every once in a while. They'll be like, Jokic, we'll pay you to just give us a little something. And he's like, fine, I'll call in, and like I love that about him. And he is like, it's just unbelievable to watch. And
He is.
that was an awesome game.
And I can't believe
Um,
I've like I'm not a big basketball fan because they play so many games. You know what I mean? Like, give me
mhm,
18 games in football, and I'm good. My attention span
mhm.
can do that. Basketball's like 1,000 games, and then they go into. But I can't believe that I have deprived myself of watching Jokic, and I live in Denver for all this time. Like until last year, it was like because I remember when I was at Lucky Strike, one of the managers there had this like massive crush on him, and I'm like, why?
Yeah,
What? Why? And then he goes and and it's because it's so much like a job. It's a job.
yeah,
It's what I do, and I'm insanely good at it. And you're supposed to be insanely good at your jobs. I friggin' love him. Love,
yeah.
love him.
You might actually be attracted to his brothers. Have you seen his brothers?
Mm.
You should
Uh-uh.
look them up.
When I was at the bar, two Serbian guys came in,
Mhm.
like during the playoff period, who I thought one was his brother.
Yeah.
But okay, here's the thing: they had Serbian accents, and they were hot. Like to me, they were they look like those kind of guys that would just like kind of break your neck if you said the wrong thing. But they were
Yeah.
like super chill,
That's what
Serbian
his brothers look
accents,
like.
and I remember one of my friends came and sat next to him, and he texted me because I said something about I think these may be assassins, but they're super hot assassins. And he texted me something, and I read it out loud, and he was like, "Are those the two guys that you called assassins?" And I was reading it, and I'm like, "Why? Why would you text this to me and not tell me not to read it out loud in front of them?" And they were just like laughing. But I don't know if they were their brothers, but my God, they were just like super hot assassins, and they had Serbian
Who reads
accents.
their text out loud? What are you doing?
I do. Why text me if you don't want me to read it out loud? I mean, especially
You know what? I don't know. That's a good question. That was a silly question on my end.
It was a silly question on your end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if they were his brothers or not because they were like really low key. Like, you know what I mean?
Were they
came,
huge and tattooed?
do you not know my type? Yes, they were very
That might
huge,
have been them.
very tattooed, very thick Serbian accents. Because
Yeah.
I didn't know what the accent was, and Julie came over, and I'm like, "What is their accent?" For some reason, she knew right away. She goes, "Oh, that's Serbian." So I asked them. Yeah, we're from Serbia. And I'm like,
Did you I don't know if you there's a stand-up joke about using like a Serbian or a Russian accent. Like it's like this black dude. He's like telling this joke and he's like, if you're in the hood, he's like, you can come off a certain way or whatever. He's like, but if you give like a Serbian or a Russian accent, like this is nothing in my country. Something like that. I'm not good at accents. He's like, they might back off.
it's probably true. I mean, seriously, these guys, and they were probably the nicest guys in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like hand tattoos, and they were very intense. Even when they were
Mhm.
ordering, it was just like intense. And I'm like, I could probably marry both of you for like a day, and
Yeah.
and it just a day because I don't believe in marriage, but I would if I have to. And
Speaking of,
you're married?
well, today's my wedding anniversary.
Oh, happy wedding anniversary! How many years? Oh, that reminds me.
Oh.
Ramon is on, but he doesn't go in the chat for whatever reason. Hello, Ramon. How are you? He texts me. He texts me instead of going in the chat. Christmas is Monday. Ramon, hello. And his wedding anniversary is soon too.
I'll never forget it because today being January 6th, I got one, is my wedding anniversary. And then two, the day the Capitol got stormed, I also got COVID.
There has to be some kind of symmetry in there.
Like it was like so wild. I remember I was like at work and this is back when I worked in a brewery. Like I'd worked all day. I was kind of like nose down, whatever. I'm like walking out and my buddy who like works behind the bar, he's like, yeah, man, they're storming the Capitol. I was like, oh, crazy. And I get home. I'm like, I wonder what he's talking about. And like, I keep up with the news. Like I knew there was some, whatever.
Something going on.
And I get home and my lady's like, got the TV on. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's what he meant. That's what he meant. And at the time, this is again like during COVID, so like early COVID too. And there's like one movie theater open, maybe in the country, the one in Mississippi. And we're like, okay, we'll go do our favorite thing. We'll go to see a movie. And I just remember, like, we're the only people in the movie theater. I just remember eating the popcorn and being like, man, this doesn't taste very salty, I'm just, I put a little bit more salt on mine. I'm like, man, this is wild, And so I'm like, it just tastes off,
Right.
And I get home and I'm like, I think I have COVID. And my lady's like, no, you don't. And I was like, okay. I think I do. And she's like, why? I'm like, popcorn didn't taste right. She's like, that's what you're basing this on? I'm like, it's a good enough sign to me. I don't know.
Wait, what movie were you guys watching?
It wasn't anything new because it was in January.
Right.
And this is like when no movies were being put out. So it was like some older movie, I'm sure, but I can't remember what it was. And so she's like, I don't know, prove it. And so she's like pulling out like jalapenos and like, stuff. So I'm just in the kitchen, just eating.
This is your
things.
COVID test?
Well, we had a COVID test, but she was
Okay.
like, I just don't know. She was like, you can't taste any of this? I was like, nothing's doing. I was like, I've got it. And like in my head, I'm like, I'm dying. I'm going to die. And so this is because like this is before the vaccine or anything.
Right.
And so I then camped out in my guest bedroom for 10 days straight.
But
Sans
you didn't
dogs.
feel bad?
No, I felt bad. Like,
oh, okay.
That was like the first, that's when it started. Because I kind of felt bad. Like I think I had like a scratchy throat or something like that.
Okay. But not like death bad.
Not yet. That came later.
Jessie likes it. She said, prove it.
Yeah, she was like, no. She's like, and she just like started like she's like, we'll eat these jalapenos. How do those taste? I'm like nothing. They don't taste like anything. And then she's like, well, try this hot sauce. And she's like putting hot sauce on bread or something. I'm like, what are we doing? I'll just take the test.
Yeah, I like it. That's your COVID test.
Well, actually, I don't think we had the at-home test yet because I actually remember I went to the doctor. I actually had to go to like the urgent health or whatever.
Did you go to the drive-through? Oh, you went to urgent health?
Mm-hmm.
So this is early COVID.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she worked for Pfizer at the time, so we got like a bunch of at-home tests too.
Oh.
Later on, but not at the time. Yeah, it was. So I'll never forget my wedding anniversary because when I got married, and it was a great night. Great night. There was a carousel. Great.
Did you get married in Tennessee?
We did. Okay. And some highlights being, one, we got married at this like museum and there was a carousel. So like once we got married, like these doors opened and then the crowd like saw there's like a carousel and it's like spinning around and they got to ride it and stuff like that. But because I'm a nerd, we did like a faux walkout as you do because like certain persons want to go home at whatever time.
Right.
And so we do the faux walkout and there's like, we have videographer, which if anyone's ever going to get married, get a videographer. It's better than getting just a photographer. That's my opinion. Do whatever you want. But we do the faux walkout. I think we had sparklers. Yeah, we had sparklers. And then, we do the kiss. And then as soon as we get done kissing, she moves out of the way and I take off my suit jacket and my friend hands me 2 beers and I crack them open and I smash them together and I throw them back like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, I'm a nerd. So
this was part of your wedding. Like she knew you were going to do this.
Yeah, there was no universe where I wasn't doing this. I was like, I'm only getting married this one time, so.
Oh, that's a good.
I've got to smash these beers together like Stone Cold after I walk out. It's the right thing to do.
What was under your jacket? Just a shirt, or did you have like?
Yeah, I mean, I had my white shirt on, but I brought an extra shirt because I knew I was going to do that, so I had something to change into. Yeah. Lots of forethought into that part.
That was into that part. The rest of it, meh.
I mean, there was a lot of thought gone into a lot of it, but I knew that I wanted to do that.
It's Stone Cold. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe in marriage, so I will never get married. But that sounds really cool.
You don't have to believe in it.
I've gone to 2 weddings, and both of them have ended up badly. Like, both of them got divorced within 3 years. The guy cheated on the girl. They were just like ugly, ugly breakups. And I'm like, that proves I should never, ever go. And they were church weddings. No, one of them wasn't. One was a church wedding. One was outside. One was actually outside during a tornado warning. And that should have been the first clue. And I was like, this just proves that I am a bad omen for weddings. So I will never, ever go to another wedding. I'm 0 for 2 right now. 0 for 2.
I don't know if that proves it. I've been to like maybe 30 weddings.
Holy
I've been to
shit.
a lot. So some of those have ended in divorce, but not all.
Well,
I'm 0
for 2.
I would say fewer have ended in divorce than.
See, I can't say that. Like, I can say all of the weddings I've been to have ended in divorce, and it would be a true statement. It is.
That's too
See,
much.
Jesse, aren't you glad I didn't go to your wedding? Although I don't even know if I was invited to your wedding. Now that I think about it, hey, I don't think I was.
Can we not segue so easily into sports talk?
Yeah.
Dallas, Detroit.
Um,
So
all I have to say is Dan Campbell has got like the biggest balls of anyone I know, or I don't know of anyone I don't know. Dan
mhm.
Campbell has the biggest balls. Go ahead, and you go.
I mean, I don't know very much about that guy other than I would run it through a brick wall for him. Like the things he says, I'm like, yeah, man, I'll go run straight through that wall for you. So I was at a bar where the game was on and people were watching the game and I couldn't care at all.
Okay,
Like I was like,
was it a Dallas crowd or a Detroit crowd?
it was a Dallas. I think it was there. People were leaning more Dallas, but then I heard like a lot of like bet talk and stuff like that. I was kind of ignoring them because they were a bunch of bros. And I was like, oh, you don't seem very cool. But I was also trying to hang. I was like trying to hang out with people, so
Right,
it
because
was like
that's who
not
you
even. I
are.
wasn't paying attention. Yes.
Yes.
So I wasn't really paying attention, but then I've since like watched the highlights and seen the ending and all that,
Hmm.
and just the whole like referee seeing one guy declare, but the other guy not, he didn't see the other guy. It's pretty ugly.
Well, okay.
Pretty ugly.
First of all, Kyle's biased because he's a Packers fan. Whatever.
Hmm.
Um, I Here's the thing. After hearing like the whole story, they outsmarted themselves. Like they told the ref, this guy's going to declare. Like if we get in this play, this guy's going to be declared. He's going to be eligible. But then they send out like, I'm sorry, 3 big white guys who all look alike. Like they were all the same size. They were.
Hmm.
I mean, I kind of understand how the ref could have gotten confused because he didn't declare, but he did. But
Hmm.
it's not who I thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that after like, what is it, 3 times they tried, they didn't go for the extra point to go into overtime. I mean, like when they hit it the first time, I was like, yes, that's an awesome play. You're going to go for the win.
Hmm.
And then they get moved back, and then it gets called back again. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
now is the time that you try to go into overtime and win the game in overtime instead of keep doing like. I love Dan Campbell. Like next to Mike Tomlin, he is my favorite coach in the NFL.
Hmm.
But you can be too stubborn. You know what I mean? You could
Yeah.
like stand your ground too much. Like I understand you want to win this game, and I understand that you had a play that won the game, and you should have won the game, but it didn't. Move on and go into
Yeah.
overtime and win the game in overtime. You guys were playing good enough. You know what I mean? I just it was. At a certain point, I kind of went, this is all your fault now. Like, they made a mistake. They made a mistake. The refs made a mistake. There's nothing you can do about it. Move on.
Yeah. I think the thing that sucks about it is that because I saw a breakdown about it and like part of it was saying in the rules is that like the players have to like it's on the players to make sure that the ref
The ref
knows.
knows exactly.
That said, the unfortunate part is, well, to add to that though, is the refs have since been downgraded and won't be
I
doing
know.
any playoff
Left
games.
which sucks.
Which like I mean I don't know because like there's 4 refs, any of them could have seen this thing happening, right?
Mhm.
And I guess and the one thing that wasn't covered in the rules that I kind of wonder is that like you could have more than 2 of those players eligible, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
So it's like that's pretty bad. Like that's pretty bad. And like I'm not I'm not one to not hate blaming the refs. Like I think a lot of times like and people are like, well, that's sports, whatever. Like I'm okay blaming the refs sometimes because again, like, these persons are out there, doing their job and it's kind of, it's the refs to do their job too. And so the fact that they flubbed it, I'm like, it's pretty ugly. And you're right. Like at some point, just be like, okay, we'll just go for the extra point and we'll have this in overtime or whatever. But again, I can kind of understand that
Detroit.
stubbornness in a sense, I guess,
I,
because you're like, fuck
I,
you,
right, exactly. But is it fuck you? It's actually fucking yourself. if you would have won. If one of those plays
Yeah.
would have hit, then yes, it would have been. Oh my God, Missy, stop. If I remember correctly, Cassie is a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, so yeah, she's happy about that. But I mean, the fact that Detroit is where they are is a plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't roll over because they've already clinched the division title is a plus. They played a really good game in Dallas, where Dallas is supposed to be pretty much unbeatable anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But again, 2 tries. You did score, and you should have won the game. Tried again, didn't do it, and you got another chance. Kick the ball, going over. It's not like if they would have made the extra point, they still wouldn't have won, or they still couldn't have put the game in overtime.
Yeah.
They had a chance, and I think there's a point where you become so stubborn that you're only hurting yourself. Like you are saying, like, "Hey, fuck you, ref." But are you really? You're doing it to yourself. You're hurting yourself more than you're hurting them.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I think maybe this is one of those, like, it sets a precedent kind of thing for the future, possibly, because, like, I'm sure it's one of those things where, like, the call was made, and then it's like, this is a non-reviewable play, right? Which I'm also kind of like, that kind of sucks because, like, obviously the refs messed it up,
right.
and then they're like, well, we can't review it because we made this call, and it was the wrong call, but we can't go back and change it now, thing. So it's unfortunate, but it was also, like, I guess makes for good TV and makes Dallas fans happy. I mean, I'm an underdog kind of person anyway,
Who are you
underdog
for today?
fantasy.
Houston or Indy?
Never Houston.
Why?
Never Houston.
Why?
I don't know what it is about Houston and, like, Atlanta kind of just hold in the same regard. I don't know, something about those teams and those places, like the Rangers, the Texans winning. The Texans won baseball this year, right? Like, ugh.
CJ Stroud. Okay, the fact that what I remember from the draft is Bryce Young got picked first, right? And then he stayed and waited to see, because there was all that talk about Levis maybe going before Stroud and Anthony Richardson being in the mix too. He waited, and when Stroud got picked, he was so happy for him. Like, he was literally happy for him. And what's up, Tootsie Pop 6? And the fact that Stroud, like, there was all that stuff that, like, Stroud not going to be a number 1 pick because his scores were bad, and he handled it. Like, he was like, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? He has that demeanor that everything rolls off of him. I don't know if it does, but that's what he shows. Like, I'm going to just do what I do, and you guys worry about you. And the fact that D'Amico Ryans is the head coach, first year, used to play for Houston, I've got to be for the Texans. I don't even care what happened before. I have got to be for the Texans. Although, on the other hand, Shane Steichen, also rookie coach, but it's not with Anthony Richardson. It's with Gardner Minshew. And Gardner Minshew kind of makes me want to, I mean, I like him. I like the story. I like the legend that he brings, sleeps in a bus, whatever. But I'm like, at a point, it's like too much. It's too much, Gardner. Come on. Scale it back a little bit.
I kind of like Gardner, but there's a little bit of, because he went to Mississippi State, I'm pretty positive, and I have friends that were Gardner Minshew fans, and I like whatever. When he had that mustache, I was like, he looks incredible. I did see a really funny thing when they were playing the Raiders. Max Crosby got after him a couple times, and every time Max got close to me, he'd be like, "Soft ass boy." And Gardner at one point was on the sideline. He's like, "Man, Max." He's like, "I know he's not a mean guy, but he just keeps calling me a soft ass boy."
I cannot get over my intense desire for Max Crosby. I can't. I can't. It's like become almost pathological. Like, any Max Crosby clip I see, I have to run it because he's Max Crosby. Jesus. That's okay. Anyway, let's not talk.
He is not a soft ass boy.
He is not a soft ass boy at all.
Speaking of other boys, Wembanyama versus Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, that was a great game. That kid is really thin, though. I worry about him.
Well, but he is a kid, and, like, that's the thing. Giannis was kind of the same way. So if anything, I mean, honestly, I was watching the post-game interview, and he does have, he does have muscle on him. He doesn't look like Kevin Durant kind of thin,
Okay.
Or he doesn't even look like Chet Holmgren kind of thin.
I
He's
guess on the
definitely,
court, the way he moves, it just makes him look that much thinner.
yeah,
But that kid, and you're right, he is a kid. Although I think Europeans grow up faster than Americans, just
really.
generally. Oh yeah, for sure.
You think it's because they get to drink beer at 18?
Yeah, and in France it's younger than that, but yeah, he's probably drinking wine when he was like 6. So
Yeah.
but it was like an epic battle that didn't get ugly. At no time were either one of them doing things I thought this could get really bad, like a Draymond Green kind of thing. They were like just both balling,
trying to win. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good basketball.
And I do love the Greek Freak though. He's
awesome.
Friggin' hilarious too.
My wife, he might be her favorite player.
Yeah,
yeah.
I could see that. Until Jokic, he was my favorite player.
She's like,
now Jokic's my favorite player.
That's funny.
No, it's true. I know. I'm looking. Well, Steelers have to win. If they can't win against the Baltimore Ravens JV team, I just might have to never ever talk about the Steelers again, because they're no Lamar, no Odell Beckham, no guy in the secondary. Come on now, they don't have to win this. They're professional courtesy is why the Ravens are playing this game. They have to play this game. Yeah, otherwise, they would be like drinking beer watching the Steelers play on the sideline. If they cannot beat this Ravens team, I might just lose it. I can see myself going completely spastic on the couch today, as I'm like doing some research and Steelers are losing by like 40 points to Tyler Huntley.
Oh my gosh.
But I am actually more excited for the second game. If I could will Texans to beat Indy, I would do so. I want DeMeco Ryans, first-year coach from a team that he played on, coming back, and it helps he's the black coach, to win this game and take Houston into the playoffs, because it would just be a great story. CJ Stroud saying, you guys, fuck you. You want to disclose my test and say I can't play football? This is how I can't play football. Talk to me later. Talk to me later about it. I can't wait. If they lose this game, I might cry. I might have to go into like witness protection or something after I go after Gardner Minshew. After I go after that soft.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
That's okay. After I go after that soft ass boy. I love Max Crosby so much.
Soft ass boy.
Soft ass boy.
I never think to talk trash to people during games. I wish I did.
Really? When do you talk trash to them then? You don't talk trash to people?
I don't. I'm just very businesslike. It's just like my emotions are off. I'm just like focused on winning. I don't even think to like I celebrate other people doing something, but like if I do something, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I'm supposed to do it. Oh, you're Jokic light. I mean, I don't. It just depends. Like I know I have talked trash to people, but it's not. I mean, I remember long time ago when I was playing softball, somebody asked my mom if I was as mean as I looked. She's like, no, that's just how she is. Because I think that there's always that, angry person thing going on. But I talk, if someone talks trash to me, I talk trash back to them. I'm like, I'm not above it. And even at the bar, I think I talk trash to people, like customers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like just part of life. Get over it.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's a guy ordering like a stupid girly drink. Like, you sure that's what you want? You want an umbrella with that? Yeah. Yes, I know. You and your salads.
Listen, the pretty drinks taste good, and it's not the sugary ones, not those, but.
Okay.
I went to this place on Tennyson not long ago. It's called, I can't remember what it's called. Either way, I ordered a drink, and every drink is based on a tree. And
nice.
there was like a drink that had orgeat in it. I was like, yep, that's the one I'm getting. And it was called Rainbow. And let me tell you, it was great. It was great.
Was it the color of a rainbow?
No, but it had
Oh,
like they had like fruit and different things on it that made it all the colors of the rainbow kind of thing.
uh, yeah. Um, I totally agree. Bar dudes do deserve that shit. Like, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
I vividly remember years ago, and this is like I'd worked a 15-hour shift,
Mhm.
and I drank beer that day, whatever, because it's part of my job. And I'm at the bar, and I ordered something, and it was pink. And I remember this guy next to me, he like took a jab and like kind of made fun of me
Mhm.
about it. And I'm not one to like, I don't really care. I don't really ever ask people what they do or whatever. And I just kind of like looked at him and I was like, "What do you do for a living?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I do this, whatever." I was like, "Okay, cool, cool, cool." I was like, "I make beer for a living." I was like, "And I've had beer all day long. I just want a fancy drink, and I want to drink it in peace, not with a-holes like you saying I should order a beer." I was like, "Because I make beer." I was like, "And you know what? If you don't think this drink is manly," because he said something like, "That's not very manly, blah, blah, blah. Order a beer." And I was like, "I think my job's a bit more manly than whatever you just said you did." I was like, "And I wasn't even listening to what you said." I was like, "Don't talk to me anymore."
Oh,
Yeah, I,
see,
I don't like to yuck other people's yum. Like
yeah.
whatever you want to drink. Because like I have people a lot, oftentimes they'll order something like, "Oh, do you mind if I order this? Like, is this a problem?" I'm like, "Yeah, order whatever you want.
I
It's
don't.
your taste buds. I don't have to drink
I
it."
don't drink it exactly. I don't let other people talk about other people at the bar. Like I can do it because I'm behind
Hmm.
the bar and you give me money,
Hmm.
but
You're
I
the
don't
one
let.
shaking it up.
Yeah, I don't let someone say something bad about someone else because
Yeah, yeah.
that's just rude. You just need to get off the bar. You just need to leave the bar if that's
Hmm.
the case. But I mean, I think because I'm behind the bar and I'm making the drink and I'm judging you like when you first walk through the door, yeah, I can say whatever I want. And I do. It's just part of my I mean, yeah,
That's
Cassie
funny.
is a really good shit talker, actually.
I mean,
Cassie,
I am good at heckling. Like I can heckle, but I don't really go at people per se. Like I don't know.
what's the
I don't know.
difference between heckling and shit talking?
Heckling, I feel like you're heckling like how things are going. Like it's like I'm not so much making fun of the person or like shit talking the person per se, right? I'm like I'm making observational humor out of whatever's happening. I'm not so much going at the person because I don't really like to make fun of people. It's not my style of humor.
Your observational humor at the situation that a person's
Hmm.
in, wouldn't that by
It is. There's some nuance. It
nuances?
exists.
Okay, all right. I will
But
give you the.
I'm not going up to him and being like, "You're soft ass boy." I'm not doing
Well,
anything like that.
I mean,
I might I might go at them. The hardest I go at people is I'll look at them and I'll just go weird or hilarious.
I think that too. That there's a difference between female bartenders and male bartenders. Like I think a
Oh,
female
for sure.
bartender can get away. Like I can get away with a lot more behind the bar than you could. Like I
Hmm.
could say a lot more to guys than you could.
Hmm.
Conversely, I don't think I've ever shit talked a girl at the bar. Like I think they have
Yeah.
enough trouble, like sitting at a bar. Like for most females, it's kind of like, should I sit here alone? Can I drink alone? That I don't. Whatever they order is fine. I don't care.
Hmm.
And if guys come over and Missy found her speaker toy. If guys come over and start, talking to them, I will always say, "Hey, are you okay? Do I need to like tell them
Oh,
to
yeah, yeah.
sit down or whatever?" But yeah, I don't think I've ever shit talked a girl at the bar unless she was like drunk and belligerent. Unless they came in
Hmm.
like But other than that, no. It's strictly a thing that you do with guys if you're a girl.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because
I did
you
that
got.
recently. I had a group of persons come in, and it was like three ladies and two dudes, and uh, two of the ladies, I guess it was like the mom and the aunt, and then it was the husband and wife and the father. And the two ladies are kind of just trying to decide. And finally, I was like, "I think you want lemon drop shots? And they're like, yeah. And so like, or one of them was like, yeah. And then the other lady was trying to decide. And the guy had already ordered, the younger guy had already ordered. He ordered like an old fashioned. And the other lady's kind of like, she's ruminating or whatever. And she's finally like, you know what? I'll have a lemon drop shot. And as soon as she said it, he goes, she'll have a gin and tonic. And I looked at him and I said, we men have done enough. And so I'm like making their lemon drop shots. And I'm like, as I'm shaking it up, I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm thinking about your old fashioned. But we'll see. And like, he said something else. And I was like, and I looked at everybody. I was like, is he grumpy like this just on Fridays, or is this like a everyday kind of thing? And I like really, really went at him, and they loved it. And the ladies, like later on, the ladies were like running on empty, and I was like, are we ready for another? And the daughter was like, no, I don't want to have to deal with them later. Blah blah blah. And I was like, deal with them being a good time. And she like said something about how she's like, well, I just like don't want to clean up their throw up in my house, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh. And I looked at the mom. I was like, I'm sure that you never had to clean up any kind of excrement or throw up or snot out of that one, huh? And she was like, kind of looking at me. She's like, yeah, no, not ever. And I was like, yeah, with that kind of blazer, she definitely changed her own diapers. And the girl was like, I did change my own diapers. I was like, I know. I see the blazer you're wearing. Ease up, lady. So then I made him another lemon drop shot. For free.
For free. Because
they deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about bars. Like, once a person gets a free drink, they're okay. No matter what happened before, free drink, I forgot. I'm better. Life's good.
Mm-hmm.
People are so weird. Wait.
People are weird.
They are. Did you say the best thing you saw this week before we go? You didn't.
It was kind of
you've been sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I didn't forget.
I mean, Homer picks, obviously the Jokic shot. The Grizzlies have been fun to watch. I don't know that we should be winning games because maybe we just want to not. I don't know. I'm kind of. It's weird. Like, it's fun because I mean, watching us win is fun, but at the same time, like, I don't know if it's good for us. I think our Golden State pick that we had is just trash at this point. But yeah, sports have been good this week.
They have.
I've been sick. That's been the worst part.
I'm sorry. I feel sorry. I feel bad for that.
The best thing I've seen this week is my wife, because it's our anniversary.
Oh.
I was so happy to get home to her.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Back to my dogs. No, I was so happy to get back
How long
home
were
to
you
her
gone?
and my dogs. Like 5 days.
Ooh, yeah.
Which I was like, it's not that long. But then by day 4, I was like,
I want to go
I'm done eating. I'm done eating all the things I've wanted to eat. I need to get back home. I need to get back home now. Had I had the energy, I would have tried to change my flight, but
yeah, no such luck. I think that one of the best things, like before the Jokic thing on Get Up, which is not a show I endorse. It depends on who's on it, but I'm not really a Greenberg fan. But Ryan Clark was on it, and he called.
You love Ryan Clark.
Good Lord, I do. It's not even. There's no question about it. He called Sean Payton a thug, and he just like went off on Sean Payton, and it was the best.
What?
Yeah.
The whole, you know what? It's so interesting how people are coming down on Russell Wilson's side on this whole thing.
I know, because before everyone's like, Russell Wilson, stop. If he goes to Pittsburgh, however, I will be upset. I do not want Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. No, I don't. I would take Justin Fields in a heartbeat, but Russell Wilson, no. But it is like, but I mean, I can see it. Sean Payton has kind of acted thuggish like towards Russell Wilson. And Ryan Clark looked in the camera and he goes, you pick the one, because anyone else wouldn't have allowed you to come at him like that. And it's true. It's true.
Well, I mean, Denver only has themselves to blame for
both
paying him what they paid him. Like, that was just like unbelievable. Yeah. Like, I genuinely couldn't believe it.
I'm saying on both sides, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, they shouldn't have paid either of them what they paid them.
Russell Wilson, I mean, I've never been a huge fan. He's fine. He's just fine. But then, like, the way he came in, and again, like, I believe you have to have some sort of an ego,
right?
to be in the position that you're in. However, the way he's just a fucking dweeb. And like, I don't know, like and it's interesting because I've only listened to a little bit of this about, how this was all shaken out or whatever. But I mean, I don't know that I'm ever landing on Russell Wilson's side in this because like, it's not even like they won games because of Wilson. Like they won games because of the defense, and Russell was just in there.
I don't know.
At time.
The defense was historically bad for a while, like historically bad.
But even I don't know. I don't know that I'm ever coming down on Russell Wilson's side.
I think Russell Wilson wants to be a celebrity more than he wants to be a really good quarterback. I think that happened maybe like after they won the first Super Bowl in Seattle, that he understood, because he wasn't a first round, he wasn't an early round pick at all. Like once he got that starting job, and once he got a taste of the celebrity, I think he wants to be a celebrity more than he wants to be a really good quarterback. And I think that's problematic for someone who's getting paid $340 million or whatever they're paying him.
And when you're in the same city as Jokic,
come on
get
now,
the fuck out of here.
And Marshawn Lynch was on Shannon Sharpe's show, and he told this story. Like, I love Marshawn Lynch. I will say
he's great.
I think he pulls no punches, regardless whether good or bad. And he said, he goes, I'm going to tell you, because Shannon Sharpe asked him something about Russell Wilson. And he goes, I don't talk about it much because people think that it's sour grapes because of the Super Bowl play where they should have given me the ball and they let Wilson throw. He goes, this is not it. He goes, they were playing a game in Tennessee where, because of Tennessee's defense, Wilson was projected to get like 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. It didn't happen. Marshawn Lynch got like 2 touchdowns and Wilson had like a mediocre game. And he goes, I wanted to call him and say, hey, we're all in this together. I knew you were supposed to get this. But he didn't have his phone number. He goes, now I have everyone's phone number. He goes, I have practice players' phone number and they have mine. So if something happens, they can call me. He goes, so he called the player development person. He's like, yo, I need to get in touch with Wilson. And so he goes, 30 minutes later, the player guy calls him back and he goes, did Wilson call you? He goes, no, all I did was got a call from a blocked number. He goes, well, that was Wilson. Because that nigger blocked me. He goes, I don't understand. He goes, I invited him to a party. I invite everyone to a party. He doesn't show. And so he asked the other quarterback who was at the party, the second, what's going on? Like, is this a thing, quarterback? And they're like, no, that's just Wilson's personality. He goes, I got nothing for him. I don't have his number. He doesn't have mine. I tried to, be the upstanding guy saying, hey, we're all in this together. He blocks my number. I'm not calling him back if you're blocking my number. And I think that's who Russell Wilson is. Russell Wilson is that guy who has always been smaller, who has always been doubted. And then when he gets that taste of success, it's like, now I'm a celebrity. Now I'm better than you are. Instead of, that didn't sound good at all. Instead of, hey, let's all be in this together. You could tell when he came into Denver that was not his mindset. Like, if you're all in this together, you don't ask for your own office. You don't ask for your own parking space. You're part of the team. And that wasn't, he automatically set himself apart from the team. So, I mean, it's not that I'm coming down on Russell Wilson's side. It's that I'm coming against Sean Payton's side. I think that Sean Payton has acted incredibly bad this whole year. And starting with the comments about Nathaniel Hackett, from then on, it was all downhill.
What did he say about Nathaniel Hackett?
It was the worst coaching job he has ever seen in his entire life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, I get it. 2 things can be true. I don't really know how Peyton's behaved too much, but I do know that I'm not coming down on Russell Wilson's side on probably much of anything other than we agreeing that Sierra's
smoking hot,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But Mr. Unlimited, fart noises.
That he batted clear out of his league on that one. I still.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I did want to, real quick before we go.
Okay.
How about old Michigan?
No, I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. I was like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
we're gonna get through this without even talking about Harbaugh. We're
Well,
just
you know what? We don't have to talk about it. I got the reaction I wanted. It's fine.
Okay. Ralphie texts me during the game. He goes, "Who do you hate more, Michigan or Alabama?" And I'm like, How can I choose? That's like Sophie's choice. I like the Chrome kid, like the Michigan's running back. So I'm gonna have to go Michigan by a hair. But
Wow.
okay, Nick Saban is fucking Satan. Come on now.
Really?
Oh, I've never had any love for Nick Saban, ever.
Okay. That's fair.
Oh.
You don't have to.
Although, thank you. Although what he did in the post game was really cool. Sort of like for Nick Saban, it was cool. Like he didn't.
I think I was dying a little bit at the time, so I went to bed right before it ended.
Well, I mean, the quarterback and the running back were in the post game interview with Saban, and they were excused. And before they went, he goes, "Wait, before they go, I just want to say." Because it was the quarterback sneak that didn't make a play in the overtime.
Yeah.
He was like, "These two guys are the reason we're here. These two guys are the reason we have made it this far." He didn't exonerate them from the play, but he made it so that they knew that they were pivotal to the team.
Yeah.
But they didn't call the play, so I'm kind of
it was
like,
definitely a weird play to end.
It was a weird play. Like I knew that they wouldn't make it through the middle, and I don't even watch college football, and I'm like, you are not going to make it through the middle, or whatever. But so that was cool, sort of, for Nick Saban. But yeah, I watched the game because it was a really, really good game. But the whole time I'm like, I don't want either one of these teams to win. How can I make that happen? But I'm really glad Washington won. Like I was totally pro Huskies.
I was really glad to see Florida State get their shit pushed in the wrong way.
Oh my! And then the Florida State quarterback okay. First of all, he didn't play, and he's the reason they didn't make it, like because of his injury. But he had nerve to say he was glad. Dude, Alabama lost in overtime. You guys got eviscerated. It wasn't even mildly close. Like there was no point in that game from when the ball started that anyone thought Florida State was going to win that game. And you're going to talk shit about Alabama losing? Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Not an Alabama fan, but maybe you should like temper that a little bit because
maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe you should draw that back because there's really nothing. That's not quarterback draw, galaxy brain play. I mean, yeah. So of course Washington all the way. Like I just hope And the thing was, like you were sick. So before the game, I couldn't even watch pregame because all they did was talk to Harbaugh the whole time. I'm like, why is this happening? Why? So I watched I wasn't watching. I watched Chuck for like until the first quarter started.
Nice. That's funny.
No, it's not. He's going to go. He got his. Did you hear? He got a new agent too. He got.
Oh really?
Yeah, Harbaugh got a new agent, and it's some big time guy whose ties are with the NFL. So he is. He's going to the NFL.
What if?
If he goes to the Raiders, if Davis doesn't retain AP and takes Harbaugh, because rumor has it that he's like got Harbaugh stars in his eyes. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I think Max Crosby and I think Davante Adams just kind of lose their shit again, and I'm with them. I don't know where I'd want him to go. I want him to go to a team. I don't want him to go to Carolina because he'll go to Carolina and Bryce Young will suddenly be good, and then everyone would be like, "Oh my God, Harbaugh is the quarterback whisperer. He's so great." I want him to go to a team that doesn't have a quarterback or its quarterback sucks and doesn't have the potential to not suck, so that everyone won't think he's like the greatest coach ever. Chargers.
I don't think people think he's.
Chargers has a good coach. I mean, Chargers have Herbert. Like he'll go and they'll start winning because they should have been winning anyway. He'll go to the Chargers. They'll like make the Super Bowl and everything. Like, oh my God, both the Harbaughs are so great. And I'll be like, just shoot me now. Just shoot me now. I have to listen to how great he is. Packers.
Is there anyone you don't like? Who do you like? Who do you like the least? Like, is Harbaugh number one for you? Like, you just cannot stand him?
Out of college coaches?
Sports people.
Oh God, no. There's no Harbaugh. He's
Who
on
who do
that.
you like the least? Because I think we know it's Draymond for me at this point.
Who do I like the least? Harbaugh's up there though. It would have to probably be Nick Saban. I
Really?
yeah, and Nick Saban and Urban Meyer are two. Like, I don't know. It would probably be. It's a close tie between the two. Like Urban Meyer has gotten my distaste because he fails upward. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he does really stupid shit and people forget about it, and then he gets a really good job, and they still have to pay him like $1 gazillion because they're idiots. But
That's
I
just
don't think,
football.
yeah, I don't like from everything I've read and from everything I've heard, I don't think Nick Saban's a nice person. And maybe you don't have to be a nice person to be that good at what you do
Hmm.
in that kind of in college ball, but that it's like that era's slowly passing him by, right? Where the college
I mean, he's
coach,
like 70,000 years old. He's gonna be done at some point.
yeah, that's what they were talking about. That, but they're like, he won't leave now because they lost. If they had won, there was a chance he might retire, so he go out on top. But he's not going to go out losing. But I
Hmm.
mean, for Dabo Sweeney probably is up there. Those coaches that are like, oh, NILS sucks, and oh, the portal sucks, even though they can go from one team to another, really bother me because it's like the plantation
Yeah.
system. Like I can do this, but the players can't, and the players are the reason you can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney has said some of the most stupid. I don't know how players go play for coaches like that. I mean, I do. Like you go play
They're
for
kids.
Clemson,
They don't pay attention. Yeah.
and two, like you go to Alabama, you go to Clemson, you go to Michigan, you go to Ohio State. You're gonna get a portal to the NFL. Like
Hmm.
scouts are gonna be watching you. So I get that point of it. But if they listen to what these guys say, it's like
Yeah.
they don't care about you. They don't actually care if you succeed or not.
It
You
is
know?
interesting how persons of that age, like they try to see things. A lot of things, like a lot of things for them are black and white. There is like not a lot of nuance, right?
Right.
Um, but then sometimes they're just not aware of whatever's been said or had, whatever been done or whatever. So that is kind of an interesting situation a lot of times
Yeah, but
where,
the parents allow them to go. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it is up to the kids too. I mean, I couldn't imagine like, well, I can't imagine like that whole Arch Manning going to Texas thing. Like they spent however much money,
Right.
recruiting him, and I'm just like, dude, you send me to some school and there's a bunch of girls giving me a tour.
Well,
It's a tough choice.
during the Texas game, they were saying that the Texas quarterback went
Quinn,
to yeah, whatever. I don't know who he is. I don't care. Texas coach. I applaud him for his sobriety,
that's funny, Kyle.
but they said that he went to Ohio State and he asked for too much money, which is why he came back to Texas. Like I'm like, you asked for too much money? How can you ask for too much money if you're that good? Like if you're at Ohio State and you're that good, don't tell me Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't making like at least $2 million playing for Ohio
Yeah.
State. You outbid yourself. Don't
Hmm.
know your worth. Know what you are worth. And apparently
I
Texas
think, and obviously never a situation I'm going to be in, but I would definitely have some biases in some places. I would be like, I'm absolutely not playing here. I don't want to be in this state.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't,
would
I don't
too.
want to spend. I don't want to spend a winter here. You know,
I
Nebraska? Are you kidding? North Dakota State?
I think that there are definitely places I wouldn't play, but they're mostly below the Mason Dixon line. Like I don't this the the snow and the cold don't bother me. It's the people who have really closed minds that you have to listen to talk bother
Hmm.
me. So I would
Like,
yeah.
like the and even going back, like thinking about basketball, like I'm like, oh, playing it like I don't know, any team in the East Coast, like New York area, like all that. I'm
Right.
like, nah, that's okay. I think I'll go play at UCLA. That'll be pretty sick.
When I was in grad school, I was recruited to go to Louisiana State University, and they bought me down there in the summertime. Like, okay,
Oh,
that was your first mistake. Come on now. It was like 100 fucking degrees. And I'm listening to people, and I love New Orleans accent. But I don't love Southern accents. Like to me, there's a differentiation between the two. Like New Orleans accents.
All right, Gladys.
But hey, Terry, what's up?
You shit talker.
But I, I could not, once there in the summertime, I could not picture spending like a whole, I go to New Orleans for the Jazz Fest. That's like 5 days. And then I'm out to spend, like, how do people live there? It's so hot.
It's great.
Oh,
well, God. Yeah, it's too hot. Well, that's the thing too, like Houston, special kind of heat. It's like fucked up. It's like, it's weird, like hot like Arizona, like sun beaming down, but then swampy. It's so bad. I would never live there. I could never. And I like, there's some people there that I absolutely love. No way. No way. You wouldn't catch me dead there.
Yeah, I don't like. I was thinking of moving, and Terry was like, I moved to St. Augustine. I'm like, and I'm looking at the temperature, and it's like 60, 70 degrees. I'm like, it's winter time. I need 30 and below sometime during the winter. I just have to.
Well, it's just, well, we could move to Jupiter, Florida. Like, I have family there, and I'm like, but then also, it's humid. It's pretty miserable.
Yeah, no.
And the other thing too about Florida is like, people are always wearing flip-flops, and I'm like, I just don't want to see, like, always. Like, it's just very, just flip-flop heavy. And I'm not judging, like, wear whatever you want, but I'm like, I don't even like listening to the sound of flip-flops. Like, I will say, Crocs versus flip-flops. Like, I don't like either, but at least when people are walking in Crocs, I don't have to hear it,
Like a plop, plop, yeah.
Like
yeah.
All right, I need to be done.
All right. Hey, everyone.
I've exhausted
Kyle, Terry, Jesse, Josh, Ramon, who doesn't go in the chat. Thank you for listening. Anyone I forgot, I'm sorry. Thank you guys so much for being here Saturday. Kyle will be here next week. He is under the weather. Unlike Shannon, he didn't travel through it, but that's okay. He's Canadian.
Listen, I'm on the back end of mine.
He's Canadian.
Kyle's probably in it.
Terry's in Florida. She says, not all people wear flip-flops. Some need arch support. So we thank you so much.
Yeah, when I lived in Florida, I didn't wear flip-flops. I've never owned a pair.
We will see you next Saturday, hopefully. Wild card weekend. Hopefully the Steelers are in it. If they're not, we'll be here, but I can't
attest to your state of being.
Yeah, I can't attest to what's going to happen. If Michigan wins Monday, I can attest to what's going to happen next Saturday. We could have an anti-Harbaugh show, the whole thing. I don't know. I can't. I don't know what to say. But Shannon, thank you for showing up. I hope you feel so much better.
Go for 2, everybody.
Yeah, we have a new channel. So thank you guys for hitting the like button. If you haven't, hit it, smash it. We're going to be more than Jeff Lambert, who has a really great accent too. I think he might be from Louisiana originally. We're going to be more than his armchair show sometime this year. And before we go, when we do the off season, when we start doing the no particular off season show, it will go back into the mock draft show. So if anyone at all wants to be on the mock draft show, hit me a DM. Let me know what you want to mock. We mock anything. Shannon and I and Kyle, we don't care. We will mock serial killers as we did last year. We will mock, didn't we? Oh, you weren't there.
We did. I missed that one, thankfully.
You missed out. Yeah. Well, it was like fictional serial killers too. It didn't have to be like real serial killers. It could be TV. We mock, yeah. See, we mock anything.
Well, my 101 would be Cyrus the Virus from Con Air.
He was pretty cool. Con Air is just a really good movie, though.
It is.
It is.
That's my opinion.
We can mock movies. So we thank you guys so much. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great New Year. Have a great start to your New Year. Go Steelers. Go Texans. Go Washington Huskies. Bye, guys.